How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to some content that you probably didn't subscribe to. A lot of things in my life are changing behind the scenes. I'm moving out again. Actually, we both are. HR Lady and I are both moving out. Some of you guys are probably wondering how HR Lady is doing, if she even exists. Do we still date? Am I still with her? Yes. She does exist. We're still together. Everything is good. She's just, I don't know, not in the videos as much, but she'll probably be in more videos now. I'm moving into a fifth wheel with HR Lady and our dogs, and that is where I will be producing my YouTube videos from here on out. Why are we doing all this? Why are we moving out into a fifth wheel and giving up all of this? Lately, it just started to kind of feel like we were living a life that was meant for someone else, and we never really stopped and asked why until recently. One night, HR Lady and I started talking, and we both basically came to the conclusion, like, why do we need this house and all this stuff? And the more we asked that question, the more we couldn't really come up with any answers. And while I achieved doing YouTube and not having to go back to a cubicle, it's kind of like birds in a bird cage, you know? If you open the door after you've had them for a while, the birds don't go anywhere. They're free to fly anywhere. They can actually fly and go anywhere they want, but they don't. They just sit in the cage and they act like they clip their own wings. They choose familiarity. They choose comfort. They choose safe, right? And I think that's what I ended up doing. The cage was just self-enforced with excuses as to why I couldn't actually do what I want. You see, I was kind of like a horse on a merry-go-round that had just been unhooked. And then I kept just doing circles anyways, and they were like, what are you doing? You don't actually have to do this anymore. You're free to go on. And that's me. And I'm finally realizing that. HR Lady is on board. All the dogs are on board, obviously, and if you guys want to see content around that, let me know. I think it'll be pretty cool. Now, I'm well aware that having a house is a blessing and a privilege. I'm also well aware, at least now, that we overdid it. We don't need this. We're just two people. We don't have kids. We're fur missile type people. So we got a bunch of dogs running around and just me and her. To put it simply, HR Lady and I basically just decided to focus on the things that we need with a little bit of what we want, but mostly just the things that we need. Don't need a lot to be happy. We have each other, we have the dogs, we have our work, we have books. Like when you really get rid of the things and start appreciating what you do have instead of having too much and not enough time to appreciate all of it. And I'm sure there are plenty of you out there that have learned that before me. Maybe it's that I'm 33, maybe it's that I'm having a midlife crisis. I remember when I was like 15, my dad hit his early 40s and it seemed real similar to this. We got a camper and we started going camping every weekend, and am I having a midlife crisis? I don't think so. We've just been going with what society says to kind of do, you know? Besides the job part, the HR Lady and I have just been going through the house, downsizing, donating. Now, there have been some moments where I've been struggling to like give up some materialistic things, but every time I do, after I'm done, I'm like, you know, I didn't need it anyways. I didn't use it that much. It's just undoing and unlearning and getting rid of all of the excess that I've collected. It has been kind of bogging me down, I guess. As for where we're going to go first and where we're going to stay after that, to be honest, HR Lady has been instrumental in figuring out a lot of the logistics for the fifth wheel as far as where we're going. So, you know, I got to give credit where credit is due for that. So thank you so much, HR Lady. Love you so much. Appreciate you. But for right now, we'll most likely just be staying in Utah close to home since we have some elderly dogs that need to go to the vets. So for sure, some days we're definitely going to go out into outer space and just boondock and be in the middle of nowhere. And that will be cool because I haven't done that since I was a kid. And to be honest, it's a little nerve-wracking because what if something goes wrong? But I don't know, I'm an adult now. Figure it out, right? Now there are some things we're still trying to figure out how we're going to handle, how we're going to work out. I'm just going to be lifting boulders like a caveman or something. As for internet, we're going to give Starlink a shot. We're also trying to figure out our diets, how we're going to eat, what we're going to bring, how much cooking we're going to do. And then, well, today's sponsor happened. Our sponsor today is Factor Meals. Look at all of this delicious food you're missing out on. Now, I've been eating Factor Meals for quite some time. When I was in HR Lady's parents' basement, I used to eat these to bulk up, and it worked clearly because all of the comments were like, looking a little chub there, Josh. However, these days, I'm doing a bit more of a shred. Now, the great thing about this is that they're fresh, never frozen, and you just pop them into the microwave. So for us, while we're in the middle of downsizing and streamlining our house, these are the perfect solution because I just pop them in. I usually have a mixture of keto meals and regular carbs and protein, whereas HR Lady prefers the vegetarian meals, and then she'll add a little protein if she wants to. My personal favorite meals are the creamy chicken parmesan, which looks like this, and the sun-dried tomato chicken, which looks like this. If you're a picky eater, that's fine because Factor Meals has something for everyone. They have over like 34 different meal options, and then they have like 45 different add-ons that you can modify your meals with. It's actually lunchtime for me right now, so if you're curious what this really looks like when it's all cooked up, got yourself some chicken, got yourself some cheese. I cheated and had a few bites before we started filming, but this is what it looks like. Here's my creamy chicken parmesan.
I don't know what magic Factor has, but it's the only company where I can microwave this chicken and still eat it and it be delicious instead of chewy bubblegum. But yeah. So if you're interested in some of this delicious food, head on over to factor75.com or click the link down below and use code FLUKE40 for 40% off your first Factor box.
Now you might be wondering, Josh, how long are you going to be out there doing that fifth wheel lifestyle? To answer your question, I'm not really sure. We're putting this house up for rent, and we're just going to go see some cool places that allow dogs and boondock in between in the meantime when we can't find some place to go. And I'm excited, nervous, scared. I'll probably wonder why I didn't do it sooner when I'm out there. Maybe we like it, maybe we hate it, and we're back in 2 months. But this was a lot of work to be back in 2 months, so I hope that I'm not back in this room in 2 months from now. And hopefully there's some cool lake or the Grand Canyon or some cool scenery behind me. She's on board. She's been the OG planning all of the things for our fifth wheel. And hi, Evie. Dog right there, dog knows. Once again, we've experienced one of those moments in life where you work really hard towards something that you think you want, only to get there and realize, wait, this wasn't what I wanted. This is for somebody else. This doesn't have my name on it. And that's usually because of how you've been raised, what you've been taught, so on and so forth. And, we just fell into that. So time to do what we want for once. Something different, something a little crazy. Overall, my content won't be changing that much. Maybe every once in a while I'll do a life on the road video or what it's like to live in a fifth wheel and game on Starlink. I have no idea what I'll do. But I might add some new stuff every once in a while. But for the most part, your boy still loves a good CEO roast and loves to call out corporate. But this gives me the freedom and flexibility to try new things. And so,
more content you didn't subscribe to.
If you found value in this video, click that like button, click that subscribe button. And once again, thank you to Factor75 for sponsoring today's video. It's been way easier to focus on downsizing and selling and emptying out everything when I don't have to think about food or what we're going to order and all that stuff. So thank you, Factor75. And remember, use code FLUKE40 for 40% off that first box. One other thing, go check out her Instagram. It's called Desert Oak Home. She's got a lot of DIY projects around the house. You can see me awkwardly walking around in some of them, and sometimes I even help out. So if you want to see hilarious behind the scenes stuff like that, go check out Desert Oak Home on Instagram. She'll also be decking out the fifth wheel that we'll be living in and making it modern, and I'm way too close to the camera. Yeah, go check it out. Desert Oak Home. See you then.